Just after the Civil War, Black Americans achieved something extraordinary, only to have it snatched away. In the 1860, formerly enslaved offered Black Americans a lifeline. The Civil War was ending and nearly 4 million enslaved men, women, and children were finally free. Facing an uncertain future with little more than their dreams, many Black families desperately needed housing, education, jobs, and a safe place to keep whatever money they could earn. Seeing this need, Congress chartered the Freedmen's Savings and Trust Company in March 1865. Commonly called the Freedmen's Bank, pennies and dollars scraped together were simply gone. Some families lost everything they had managed to save since emancipation. As word of the bank's failure spread, a numb shock settled over Black communities. One newspaper observed that many Black depositors met the news in a dumb despair, not with the bank, was investigated and cleared of wrongdoing, and beyond that, officials pinned the failure on the general climate of the panic. A report concluded that essentially nobody was specifically to blame, an outcome that meant the unscrupulous trustees and managers escaped any real consequences. For the tens of thousands of victims, it was as if their life savings had been stolen in broad daylight, and yet the thieves walked away free. Had been hijacked from within. The government that created it was asleep at the wheel, allowing white profiteers to gamble away the life savings of an entire community. In 1873, the reckoning began. That year, a nationwide economic crisis known as the Panic of 1873 swept across America. Stock markets crashed and businesses failed. For the fragile Freedmen's Bank, loaded with shaky investments, the panic was a death knell. Railroad companies in which among African men responsible for the risky loans began to resign and wash their hands of the mess as the bank teetered. Desperate to restore public confidence, the remaining trustees turned to the most respected Black leader in the nation as their savior. In March 1874, they implored Frederick Douglass to take over as president of the bank. Douglass's name commanded immense respect, and they hoped it would steady the ship. He accepted the position, not yet realizing how dire the situation was. Douglass was known for his integrity and eloquence, and if anyone could restore faith, it would be him. When word spread that Douglass had taken the helm, many in the community dared to hope that their savings might be saved after all. Douglass accepted the job and even invested about $10,000 of his own money, an enormous sum at the time, to demonstrate his confidence. But when he examined the books, Douglass was horrified. The Freedmen's Bank was, in his own unforgettable words, a Black man's cow that had been giving white men milk. The assets were so depleted and the ledgers so rotten that he felt he had been married to a corpse. All of the bank's grand appearances had been hiding financial ruin. Despite Douglass's heroic reputation, not even he could reverse the damage that years of corruption had created in just a few weeks. Seeing the grim reality, Douglass did the only responsible thing left. He went to Congress and urged them to shut the bank down to prevent any further losses.
I think we all inherently have a predisposition to be skeptical of things. I'm very skeptical of traditional things. I have always been. I like cash. I like to have cash on me. My book bag is over there. I probably got about $300-400 on me. I haven't touched it in about 2 weeks. I'm using digital money. Tap to pay here, swipe your card. We don't accept cash. All different excuses, right? They're gonna do the same thing on giving. History repeats itself unless you know your history. Go and check it out. Black Culture Unlocked. I'm in the middle of watching it. I'm reacting to it in real time with you all. There is more that I'm going to be touching.